Hey, 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 welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back. We are now on week number 8 in our virtual book club for Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. For those of you who are new to us, we are going over the book Think and Grow Rich, which was written in 1937. That's amazing. And I can tell you that even though this book will be coming up on 100 years in, some years, but even though this book is old, it still have value in here that's applicable to our day and time. So Napoleon Hill was challenged by Andrew Carnegie to find out what the secret to success was. And Andrew Carnegie gave him access to his closest friends who were all successful. So for 25 years, Napoleon Hill interviewed them, researched them, and found out the secret to success. He came up with 13 steps. And we are now on the 7th one, which is decision. And what I love about this one is the first line says, the mastery of procrastination. How many of us are procrastinators? I know I'm not alone. But the beautiful thing about this is that it's saying that decision is how you master procrastination. Decide to do something and then do it. Procrastination is the opposite of decision. And he talked about how they had analyzed 25,000 people. And of these people who experienced failure, the number one reason was the lack of decision. The lack of decision. Now that stuck with me because I'm like, how many of us need to make a decision to do something? And if we just decided to do it and we go all in, it's going to happen. Go figure. Like, that's all we have to do. Now, one thing he also talked about in this book is that leaders or people who are successful tend to make decisions quickly and definitively. They make them pretty fast and they don't go back to change them. They're slow to change the decisions that they made. They don't let the outside influence of other people get in the way. They don't. He talked about opinions, and let me see if I can find what he said. He said opinions are the cheapest commodities on earth. Now, everybody has an opinion, but who do you listen to? Do you listen to yourself first, or do you listen to the opinions of others? And he also talks about how we should not tell everybody what it is that we're trying to do because people are going to try to influence us, or they may even take your idea. So it's one of those things that it's better to listen. Open your ears, open your eyes, and close your mouth. He also talked about with that part that, let me see if I can find it. Oh, he said genuine wisdom is usually conspicuous through modesty and silence. As soon as you open your mouth, you're letting people know what you know or what you don't know. So we have to be mindful of that. I don't know. I'm sitting here looking at myself in the camera, and I am feng shuiing my office. So I have changed some things around. So you may have noticed that now my back is against the gray wall instead of it being against the green. So I don't know. I like the brighter color better, but I don't know how to do this any other kind of way. So we'll see how this works for a couple of weeks. And then if I have to change. But I can't change because one of the things that I learned is that you can't have your back to the door. Not with feng shui. So I had to turn my desk. I have 2 desks in here. I'm at a stand-up desk, and then I have one that I sit down at. But I needed to turn those around, and so now I'm facing the green wall, and my back is towards the gray. So this may just have to work. But getting back to what I was talking about, I'm just, it's something about when you're doing these videos and you're sitting there watching yourself, and I'm looking at all the things around me and the gray wall. And my room is not where it needs to be. There's a lot of stuff that I still have to do to get it in order. But hopefully you can't see all of that as you look. But getting back to this, it's just a matter of making a decision. So in this book, he talks about Henry Ford and how he had to make the decision with the Model T car. Most people told him, scrap that idea. And he chose not to. And he made a lot of money doing that. He talked about Lincoln and the Proclamation of Emancipation. And he, talked about Washington generally, all these people. Some people he talked about are people that, we may not believe in what it was that they were doing. But I think the purpose that I'm sharing this with you for is because everything required some courage. Every decision that they made required courage. And that's just what I want to share with you. Make a decision, and when you make that decision, have the courage to go after it. Have the courage to be all in with whatever it is that you want to do. And I think that's it. Yeah, he just talked about, being able to make a decision and not let the opinions of others influence you, um, will help you achieve the goals that you have for yourself. This chapter is very small. It's about 20 pages. So if you're following along, or if you have the book, or if you just go on Google and type in Think and Grow Rich chapter 8, you will get this and be able to read along with me. But I hope you really are paying attention to the things that I'm sharing out of this book. There are some great tips and tools, and I am trying to change the way my life has been. Even though I've had success, I want it to be a different type of success. And so I am implementing the things that I learned. Whether or not you're joining me reading this, I hope even as I explain this to you, that you're getting something out of it. I always tell you that you're getting my interpretation of this book. So if you went along and read it yourself, you will get something totally different. But if you're not, it's okay, because you can take what I give you and at least use that to help you in your own journey. But remember, a decision needs to be made. And when you make a decision, be all in. Have the courage. So I just ask you today, what decision do you need to make for your life? Whether it's in your health, your relationship, your job, your philanthropy, your um, time, I don't know, like whatever it is. What decision do you need to make? And I just challenge you to make it and then just go after it. Alrighty. So remember, we will do a, a chapter a week. I took off a week last week because I was sharing with you all my experience with Michelle Obama, going to see her. And that was pretty awesome. But now we're back at it. And so next week, we are step number 8 out of 13. And that chapter is about persistence. Persistence. Yeah. So that's going to be pretty cool. So I look forward to seeing you all next week. Let me know what you think about, like, can you see me? I think the darker color definitely does a disservice for these videos. However, I don't know how else to get feng shui. What I do know is that I have to get, and if you all don't know what that is, you can look it up. It's like being in harmony with your environment. And it's a Chinese word, Feng. Shui is Shui, I believe. I had gone to a meeting and it was called Design Your Life. And so I'm thinking they're going to tell me like what I need to do to get my life in order. And it was about how to get your office in order so that you can be more productive. And so one of the things that I need to do on that little area right there, I guess, or somewhere up there, I'm going to have to move some things because now my pictures are off. But I need to put a live plant in here. So that will be coming next. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Like, is this too dark? Are you distracted? Am I bright enough? Like, or maybe I need to put on some brighter colors to give it some oomph. Because I actually had changed my drapes in here too to gray. Because my carpet is gray in here. It's kind of the same color as that peppercorn on the wall. And it was just a little too much. I felt like I was in a dungeon. So I had to come back to the green, which I love the green, but yeah. And one of the other things that I get to look at, I don't know if you get to see this. Let me see. Like, this is my little, my picture that's right there. That's like my little Gigi. And so I have her sitting right there. So that kind of gives me something to gives me some color, I guess I should say. So I see color. You may not see it, but there's color all around me. But I just wanted to get your feedback. All righty. I will talk to you all next week as we talk about persistence. So make sure that you figure out what it is you need to make a decision on and then decide to do it. Just go for it. Be all in. All right. Take care. Bye bye.